Hello there, Eric Wetherington with New Heights Property Management. Today I want to talk about respecting tenants' privacy and how does a landlord need to work with a tenant to make sure that that tenant is comfortable in their home. Well, there's a couple of very important things to think about. First of all, it's important for a property owner to understand that once they move a tenant into their house, this is a commercial endeavor now. It's not your home, and it's not a situation where we as a property management company allow owners of properties to keep keys to their houses. And it's certainly not a situation where we want the owner of the property to be stopping by and knocking on the door and talking to the tenants in the yard and things like that. You know, once that tenant takes over the property after they sign that lease, it's their home and they have the right to quiet enjoyment of that property. They have the right to be able to live there without being bothered, without being disturbed, without worrying that someone's going to come up to the door and open the door and walk in on them. So we got to understand that the tenant has those rights and we've got to respect those rights and make sure we're careful to that. You know, we had a situation a few years ago where an owner called us and demanded that they get a key to the rental property. And a tenant lived in that rental property and they just were insistent that we give them a key to their rental property because after all, they owned this property. And we said, no ma'am, it's not the right thing to do because we respect the tenant's privacy and you need to respect the tenant's right to privacy as well. Well, they told us they were going to fire us and we said, ma'am, no reputable property management company in the Charleston area will give you a key to a tenant-occupied rental property. Well, she hung up the phone and called around, and about 30 minutes later she called us back and said, you were right. I called several other companies and they have the same policy. So it's just a good policy to have in place. It's important to make sure that you as a property owner are respectful of those tenants' rights to live in that home and pay rent and be able to do that in a comfortable and safe environment. If you have any questions about respecting your tenant's privacy, please feel free to reach out to us here at New Heights Property Management. We'd be happy to help in any way that we can.